Out of the Fog Research is a small firm based in San Francisco, California. The company is a DoD contractor and specializes in the development of advanced RF technology based primarily on high-throughput screening, HTS, and cryogenic technologies. Although a young firm, the company has had 4 Phase 3 awards since its founding by Dr. Stuart Berkowitz in 2004. Our goal was to explore how they did this.
From the very beginning, we consciously decided to be focused and not just go after every solicitation that was out there. Of course, you need revenue in the beginning, but there's good revenue and bad revenue. Good revenue is something that helps you move your technology forward towards transition, and bad revenue is something that might distract you from that. You have limited resources as a small company, and you need to stay focused.
Out of the Fog has a replicable business strategy that has led to corporate growth, so we asked Stuart to explain what he does.
Our business strategy has 3 components. The first is focus. As we've discussed, you're a small company, you really have to be focused and focused on that transition. The second is obvious, but listen to your customer. They'll tell you what they need, and if you provide them what they need, you'll succeed. And the third is to be realistic about your finances. Don't spend ahead of what you can afford. Try to make sure that your direct and indirect rates are realistic for what you need so that you can be profitable. The government doesn't want to just invest money and have you go out of business. You need to make money to stay in business, so make sure you're realistic.
Listening to your customer often results in changing the solution you provide.
We had a very interesting meeting with the program of record where we came in and said, we finished our technology development, we're ready to make you the product. And they said, that's great, but what we really need is this. Can you do these other portions? So we were able to take our technology and then build all of the other pieces that need to go around it. Even something as simple as the latch to hold the Ethernet cord, so when the sailor walks by, he doesn't trip on the cord and disconnect the system. Makes the difference in terms of actually transitioning. Low tech is as important as high tech.
Out of the Fog Research is a small firm with 10 employees. Without differentiated departments, we explored how the company maintains a focus on transition while developing new technologies.
It's difficult in a small company to maintain the focus on transition and still continue to develop new technologies. We do that by having a range of technologies at different TRL levels, technology readiness levels, so that the more research-oriented people can still play and have fun while we make money and transition product and keep that focus. That's my job as the CEO, to make sure that that focus is there, that vision is there.
It may be a number of years before a small, advanced technology firm can afford to hire a business development person. So we asked Stuart how he does this.
Small companies tend, in the SBIR world, to be started by technologists, scientists, engineers who are uncomfortable with sales and marketing. One way that I have become more comfortable with it is to look at sales and marketing as problem solving. I look at the person on the other side of the table and I try to find out what rewards they're after, how their performance evaluation is for their job, and I try to give them that. Because if they succeed, and if I help them succeed, then my belief is that I'll succeed.
Within DoD, contractors must always be on the lookout for programs of record that can provide potential funding. The first program of record to provide Out of the Fog with a Phase 3 award was the Navy Cryptological Carry-On Program, CCOP.
With the programs, it's much more difficult. They're focused on getting stuff out to the military. They have short time frames. They don't want to take a lot of risk. And so my advice on that is to stick with smaller programs of record. They tend to be more nimble. They tend to be more flexible and more willing to take that risk with a small company.
Out of the Fog delivers product to the Department of Defense. Sometimes they develop the final product in-house. Other times they outsource. We explored the challenges with outsourcing and qualifying good suppliers.
Whether to make things in-house or to go to outside production houses is always a trade-off of you have limited time, but you know what you're doing, and the time to actually document it so that other people can make it may take more time than just making it yourself. So it's always a balance. Where we can go outside, we go outside to protect our limited resources. Where we can't, we qualify outside vendors and go with them. Qualifying vendors is as important in the production process as anything else. An unreliable vendor won't deliver on time or may deliver work that requires more effort on your part to figure out why they did something wrong. There's no magic formula to it other than develop those relationships, just like you develop the relationship with your technical point of contact or your program of record, and find out who you can trust and stick with them. They'll support you.
Other potential sources of funding for small businesses include venture investment. We asked Stuart why he'd not pursued venture backing.
We have a unique business model at Out of the Fog Research. We are a small company. We are focused on the government. It's 100% owned by myself. I didn't take venture money because venture capitalists are generally interested in larger companies. We believed that we were doing something important to the military. And so I purposefully didn't just grow for growth's sake. Being the sole owner, I can control that lever. As long as we're making more money than our expenses, we're in good shape. And I haven't looked back. I haven't regretted making the transition from being a scientist to an entrepreneur.
In concluding, we asked Dr. Berkowitz what his biggest challenges had been.
Every stage of a company is another opportunity to succeed or fail. As we've grown, we've had multiple challenges along the way. In the beginning, it was finding the right people. That, of course, stays a problem throughout the entire length of the company. But finding the right people is critical. Bringing in people who believe in your vision and who want to help you succeed. Once you've done that, then the hard part is finding that first transition. Once you've found that first transition, then you have a track record, you have a level of credibility that allows you to continue on. But finding that first one and really being focused on that is really critical.